to overtime. Dwayne Wade right at the body of Anderson Varejao. Welcome to your Kodak moment, Anderson Varejao.
Doncic pulls up, three-pointer. Bang! Bang! It's good! Doncic wins the game at the buzzer!
There you go. We have 5 minutes to talk about the rest of this. What's the most interesting topic to me? Taysom Hill and Indianapolis, sorry. Let's talk about those two. Taysom Hill had his first start of his career, one of 3 players to get their first start over the age of 30. Both of them lost before this. And the Saints just absolutely destroyed the Falcons. 24-9. Matt Ryan, no touchdowns, 2 picks. And Taysom Hill had no passing touchdowns, but had 2 rushing touchdowns. And, I always, talk about how Taysom Hill is not very good. But as far as like a dual threat quarterback, 10 carries for 51 yards and 2 touchdowns, and then 18 of 23 for 233 yards, it's about as good as it gets. Genuinely is about as good as it gets. So that's something to think on. Maybe the Saints should really just keep Taysom. If this is who Taysom Hill is, and we will see for the next 2 more games or 3 more games, however many it takes for Drew Brees to get back. If this is who Taysom Hill is, and he can be efficient in the passing game and then a nightmare to deal with in the running game at goal line situations, then should Drew Brees really be the starter when he gets back? I know this team loves Drew Brees. I know Saints fans absolutely love Drew Brees. But what makes the team better? And Taysom Hill is not a great player by any means, but at this point, is he better than a 43-year-old, 42-year-old Drew Brees? Maybe. Because one of them has the ability to go over 19 yards or over 20 yards in a pass, and the other doesn't really, or only does when it's wide open. So there you go. I always have questions. And as someone who's really, I was all aboard Jameis Winston as the starter instead of Taysom Hill. But if this is Taysom Hill, the quarterback, the starting quarterback, then he did great. And maybe he did great enough to earn the starting job when Brees comes back. Now, of course, they won't start Taysom Hill over Brees realistically, unless it goes really well and Brees struggles when he gets back. Well, they're not going to do that to their only franchise legend. They're not going to give him an undeserved sad exit. But yeah, I'm impressed with Taysom Hill. I'm really impressed with Taysom Hill. And I never thought I'd say that as someone who hated keeping Taysom Hill on for how much money as they did. Let's talk about the other quick topic I want to talk about, Indianapolis. And, they won in overtime against the Packers, and it all comes down to that defense. Michael Pittman is an emerging receiver. Jonathan Taylor is an emerging running back. But good Lord, that defense. DeForest Buckner and, oh my God, what's his name? And Darius Leonard have melded together to create a middle of a defense so scary that you cannot run against it. They create pressure all the time. They create turnovers. Bobby Okereke is having, I believe, his best year ever. So that's the thing. Julian Blackmon as the strong safety has been one of the best rookies this year, one of the best defensive rookies this year. And the amount of great defensive rookies we have this year is insane. But good Lord, that Colts defense is beautiful. Xavier Rhodes is having a bounce back year as a very good cornerback. They just have so much to work with. On the defensive end, it's insane. They don't really have a great edge presence, but they just kind of figure it out because, DeForest Buckner is the second best defensive lineman in the league, or defensive tackle in the league. Only second to Aaron Donald. So there you go. I think I love Indiana's team. I hate Phillip Rivers. I'm so excited for when this team gets an actual quarterback. I mean, I know they probably won't take one this year because they have hopes for Jacob Eason. Even Jacoby Brissett looked great when he played. I think there's no reason that Phillip Rivers should still be starting. But maybe I'm just a Rivers hater. But yeah, they have stuff to build with there. They still have a great offensive line. Quentin Nelson had an off game with, I think, 2 holding penalties and 1 pressure given up, which for him is an off game. For most offensive linemen would be a pretty good showing. But, Quentin Nelson is so good. That offensive line is so good that I think you get a real quarterback there and you are set. You are so set to make a Super Bowl run, genuinely. Imagine this team with Andrew Luck. Just imagine it. They would be my Super Bowl favorites. This defense is that good. And T.Y. Hilton was never anything insane, but he's still there and he's still good. And Michael Pittman, I didn't have a first round grade on him, but I had a mid-second round grade, which is 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 mid-second round